Halifax class. Guided missile frigates form the backbone of the Royal Canadian Navy's surface combat capability. 12 were built between 1988 and 1996. 4 remain in active service as of 2025. Each displaces around 5,000 tons fully loaded and stretches 134 meters in length. They carry a single 57mm Bofors gun, evolved Sea Sparrow surface-to-air missiles, and Harpoon anti-ship missiles. The primary sensor suite includes the AN/SPS-49 air search radar and AN/SPQ 510 hull-mounted sonar. These ships were designed for anti-submarine warfare in the North Atlantic during the Cold War. They would be tasked with securing Canada's Atlantic and Pacific approaches, escorting supply convoys, and defending coastal waters from submarine incursion. Their effectiveness is limited by age. The 4 remaining hulls are approaching or exceeding 30 years of service. Systems integration lags behind modern surface combatants operated by peer nations. The ships lack vertical launch systems, which restricts missile reload capacity and limits flexibility in engagement profiles. Anti-air defense is confined to point defense ranges. They would struggle against saturated missile attacks or coordinated air-sea threats. Their sonar and torpedoes remain credible for anti-submarine work, but crew availability and maintenance cycles mean sustained high-tempo operations are not feasible across all 4 hulls simultaneously. Victoria-class diesel-electric submarines represent Canada's only underwater combat capability. 4 boats were purchased from the United Kingdom starting in 1998. They were originally built as Upholder-class submarines in the late 1980s and early 1990s. Only 2 are currently operational. Each boat displaces approximately 2,400 tons submerged and carries a crew of around 48. They are armed with Mark 48 heavyweight torpedoes and can deploy Harpoon anti-ship missiles through their torpedo tubes. Maximum submerged speed is estimated at 20 knots. These submarines are intended for surveillance, anti-surface warfare, and area denial operations. They would be used to patrol Canada's vast maritime approaches, monitor undersea activity, and threaten surface vessels attempting coastal transit. Diesel-electric propulsion provides exceptional quietness when running on battery power, making them difficult to detect in littoral environments. Limitations are severe. Only 2 boats are typically available at any given time. Range and endurance are constrained compared to nuclear-powered submarines. Maintenance challenges have plagued the class since acquisition. Extended refits and technical issues mean the submarine force is not capable of sustained forward deployment. Strategic deterrence or large-scale interdiction is beyond the capacity of this fleet. They provide localized deterrence and intelligence collection, but cannot project persistent underwater presence across Canada's 3 ocean frontiers simultaneously. CF-18 Hornet fighter fleet comprises Canada's primary air superiority and strike capability. Canada operates approximately 76 operational CF-18 CES, a variant of the McDonnell Douglas F/A-18A and F/A-18B. These aircraft entered service in the early 1980s. They have undergone incremental modernization programs, including radar upgrades and structural life extensions. Each aircraft is powered by 2 General Electric F404 turbofan engines, providing a maximum speed exceeding Mach 1.8. Combat radius is approximately 400 nautical miles on internal fuel. Armament includes the M61 Vulcan 20mm cannon, AIM-9 Sidewinder, and AIM-120 AMR, AAM air-to-air missiles, and a variety of air-to-ground munitions, including precision-guided bombs. The APG-73 radar provides beyond visual range detection and engagement capability. The CF-18 would be used to establish air superiority over Canadian airspace, conduct defensive counter-air missions, and provide close air support to ground forces. They can also perform maritime strike and reconnaissance missions. The fleet has demonstrated interoperability with NATO forces and has been employed in expeditionary operations. Constraints are significant. The airframes are now over 40 years old. Structural fatigue and parts availability are ongoing concerns. The fleet is scheduled for replacement by F-35A Lightning II aircraft, but full operational capability for the new fleet is not expected until the early 2030s. The CF-18 sensors and avionics are generations behind current fifth-generation fighters. In contested airspace against modern integrated air defenses or advanced fighters, survivability would be compromised. Sustained, high-intensity operations would rapidly degrade sortie rates due to maintenance demands and limited spare parts stockpiles. Canada's fighter force is stretched thin across the second-largest landmass in the world, meaning concentration of air power in any single theater would leave other regions exposed. C-177. Globemaster, 3 strategic airlifters provide Canada with long-range heavy transport capability. Canada operates 5 Boeing C-17 Globemaster III aircraft. These were acquired between 2007 and 2015. Each aircraft can carry a maximum payload of approximately 77,500 kilograms. Range with maximum payload is around 4,500 kilometers. The cargo bay can accommodate oversized cargo including armored vehicles, helicopters, and bulk supplies. The aircraft is capable of operating from austere airfields with relatively short runways. It can perform tactical airlift missions, strategic deployment, and humanitarian assistance operations. And the CC-177 would be used to rapidly deploy ground forces and equipment across Canada's vast distances or to support expeditionary operations abroad. It enables the movement of Leopard tanks, artillery, and large numbers of troops to forward locations. Without these aircraft, Canada's ability to project ground combat power would be severely constrained. The limitation is numbers. 5 aircraft cannot sustain large-scale simultaneous deployments. Maintenance cycles mean that typically only 3 to 4 aircraft are available at any given time. Strategic airlift capacity is insufficient to move a brigade-sized force in a single lift. Multiple sorties would be required, extending deployment timelines and increasing vulnerability during transit. Canada is dependent on these 5 airframes for heavy lift. Loss of even one aircraft would represent a 20% reduction in strategic mobility. CC-130J, Super Hercules. Tactical transports serve as the primary theater airlift platform. Canada operates 17 Lockheed Martin C-130J Hercules aircraft. These are the modern variant of the long-serving C-130 family. Each aircraft can carry up to 20,000 kilograms of cargo or 92 combat troops. Range is approximately 3,300 kilometers with maximum payload. The C-130J can operate from rough or unpaved airstrips and can perform tactical airdrop missions. It is equipped with defensive systems including chaff and flare dispensers and infrared countermeasures. The CC-130J is used for in-theater troop transport, supply delivery, casualty evacuation, and search and rescue missions. It can deliver personnel and equipment to forward operating bases that are inaccessible to larger strategic airlifters. These aircraft would be essential for sustaining dispersed ground units across Canada's northern regions or for supporting rapid reaction forces. They provide tactical flexibility and operational reach within a theater of operations. Constraints include payload limitations. The C-130J cannot carry heavy armored vehicles or oversized cargo. In a high-threat environment, tactical transports flying low-level missions are vulnerable to man-portable air defense systems and anti-aircraft artillery. The fleet of 17 aircraft must support not only military operations but also search and rescue and disaster response across Canadian territory. Attrition or maintenance issues would rapidly erode available capacity. Sustained operations would require logistic support and fuel availability at forward locations, which may not be guaranteed in a contested environment. CH-148. Cyclone maritime helicopters are designed for shipboard anti-submarine and surface warfare missions. Canada operates 28 Sikorsky CH-148 Cyclone helicopters. These entered operational service after a prolonged development and testing period that extended into the late 2000s. Each helicopter is equipped with advanced sensors, including a multi-mode radar, sonobuoys, magnetic anomaly detector, and electronic support measures. Armament includes Mark 46 lightweight torpedoes and door-mounted machine guns. The CH-148 operates from Halifax-class frigates and Harry de Wolf-class patrol ships. It extends the detection and engagement range of surface vessels against submarines and provides over-the-horizon targeting for anti-surface warfare. The Cyclone can also perform search and rescue, reconnaissance, and vertical replenishment missions. It would be used to prosecute submarine contacts, provide maritime domain awareness, and support naval task groups. The platform enhances the lethality and situational awareness of Canada's surface fleet. Limitations stem from technical complexity and fleet readiness. The Cyclone experienced significant delays and capability shortfalls during development. Software integration issues and reliability concerns have affected operational availability. Not all 28 helicopters are deployable simultaneously. Training pipelines and crew availability further limit the number of aircraft that can be deployed aboard ships at any given time. Maintenance requirements are intensive. The platform's effectiveness depends on cueing from other sensors and platforms. Without robust maritime patrol aircraft or satellite surveillance, the Cyclone's operational picture would be degraded. CH-147F. Chinook heavy-lift helicopters provide tactical mobility for ground forces. Canada operates 15 Boeing CH-147F Chinook helicopters. These are the most modern variant of the Chinook family, featuring digital cockpits, advanced avionics, and enhanced survivability systems. Each helicopter can carry up to 55 troops, or approximately 12,000 kilograms of cargo as an external sling load. Maximum speed is around 300 kilometers per hour. Range is approximately 740 kilometers. The CH-147F is equipped with defensive countermeasures including chaff and flare dispensers and can be fitted with door-mounted machine guns. It is used for troop transport, artillery repositioning, casualty evacuation, and logistics resupply in austere or contested environments. The Chinook enables rapid movement of infantry units and light vehicles across difficult terrain where ground transport is slow or impossible. It is particularly valuable in mountainous or forested regions and in the Canadian Arctic where infrastructure is sparse. Without heavy-lift helicopters, ground forces would be constrained to linear movement along roads and would lack the ability to rapidly concentrate or reposition. Constraints are primarily numerical. 15 aircraft cannot support large-scale distributed operations across multiple fronts. Maintenance and training demands mean that only a portion of the fleet is available for operations at any given time. The CH-147F is vulnerable to small arms fire, man-portable air defense systems, and anti-aircraft artillery. Operations in contested airspace without air superiority would result in significant attrition. The platform is also dependent on forward arming and refueling points, which must be established and secured before sustained rotary wing operations can be conducted. Leopard 2, A4 and 2. A6 main battle tanks constitute Canada's armored warfare capability. Canada operates approximately 80 Leopard 2 tanks in total, including both the A4 and A6 variants. The Leopard 2 A4 was produced in the 1980s. The Leopard 2 A6 features improved armor, a longer 120mm smoothbore gun, and enhanced fire control systems. Both variants are powered by a 1,500 horsepower diesel engine and can reach speeds of approximately 70 kilometers per hour on roads. The 120mm main gun fires armor-piercing, fin-stabilized discarding sabot rounds and high-explosive anti-tank munitions. Secondary armament includes coaxial and pintle-mounted machine guns. Frontal armor provides protection against most anti-tank weapons, although side and rear armor are more vulnerable. The Leopard 2 would be used for breakthrough operations, defensive strongpoint roles, direct fire support to infantry, and engagement of enemy armored vehicles. It provides the heaviest firepower and protection available to the Canadian Army. Armored formations can anchor defensive positions and conduct counterattacks against mechanized assaults. Limitations include mobility constraints in certain terrain. Main battle tanks are road-bound in many environments and struggle in heavily forested, swampy, or mountainous regions, common across much of Canada. Strategic mobility is limited. Tanks cannot self-deploy over long distances and require heavy transport by rail or strategic airlift, which Canada has in limited capacity. The fleet of 80 tanks is insufficient to equip more than a single armored regiment at full strength. Sustained combat operations would result in attrition due to mechanical failures, damage, and enemy action. Logistic support for armored units is intensive, requiring substantial fuel, ammunition, and spare parts. Without robust supply lines, tank units lose operational effectiveness rapidly. LAV 6.0 Infantry fighting vehicles form the backbone of Canada's mechanized infantry capability. Canada operates over 500 LAV 6.0 vehicles in various configurations. The LAV 6.0 is a wheeled 8x8 armored vehicle based on the General Dynamics LAV-3 chassis with enhanced protection and upgraded systems. It weighs approximately 28,000 kilograms and can transport a dismount squad of up to 7 soldiers plus a crew of 3. Primary armament is a turret-mounted 25mm M8242 Bushmaster automatic cannon. Secondary armament includes a coaxial 7.62mm machine gun. Some variants are equipped with anti-tank guided missiles. The LAV 6.0 features increased armor protection against mines, improvised explosive devices, and small arms fire. It is amphibious and has a road speed exceeding 100 kilometers per hour. The vehicle would be used to transport infantry to the objective, provide fire support during dismounted operations, to conduct reconnaissance, and engage light armored vehicles. Its mobility and firepower make it suitable for rapid maneuver warfare and for operations across Canada's varied terrain. The LAV 6.0 allows mechanized units to cover large distances quickly and to operate independently without heavy logistical tails. Constraints include protection levels. While improved over earlier variants, the LAV 6.0 is not equivalent to tracked infantry fighting vehicles or main battle tanks in terms of survivability. It is vulnerable to anti-tank guided missiles, rocket-propelled grenades, and heavy machine guns. Wheeled vehicles offer less cross-country mobility than tracked vehicles and can be immobilized by terrain obstacles or damage to tires. The 25mm cannon is effective against light armor but insufficient against modern main battle tanks. In high-intensity combat against a peer adversary with substantial armored forces, LAV-equipped units would face significant casualties without heavy armor support. Maintenance and parts supply for such a large fleet would be strained under sustained operations. M777 155mm towed howitzers provide indirect fire support to ground forces. Canada operates approximately 37 M777 155mm towed howitzers. These were acquired in the mid-2000s and have seen extensive use in training and expeditionary operations. The M777 is a lightweight titanium and aluminum construction howitzer manufactured by BAE Systems. It weighs approximately 4,200 kilograms, making it air transportable by helicopter or tactical transport aircraft. Maximum range with standard munitions is around 24 kilometers. With rocket-assisted projectiles, range extends to approximately 30 kilometers. With precision-guided munitions such as Excalibur rounds, the M777 can engage targets at extended ranges with accuracy within 10 meters. Rate of fire is approximately 2 rounds per minute sustained. The howitzer is crewed by a section of 7 soldiers. It would be used to deliver massed fires against enemy troop concentrations, suppress enemy artillery, destroy fortified positions, and provide on-call fire support to maneuver units. The M777's mobility and range make it suitable for rapid deployment and repositioning in support of fast-moving operations. Constraints are significant. Towed artillery lacks the mobility and survivability of self-propelled systems. Displacement after firing is slower, increasing vulnerability to counter-battery fire. The M777 has no armor protection, leaving the crew exposed to indirect fire, artillery splinters, and small arms. Modern counter-battery radars can locate firing positions within seconds, and precision-guided munitions can engage towed artillery with high accuracy. Sustained fire missions require substantial ammunition resupply, which is logistically intensive. Canada's inventory of precision-guided munitions is limited. In high-intensity conflict, expenditure rates would quickly deplete stocks, forcing reliance on less accurate conventional rounds. The number of guns available is insufficient to provide divisional-level fire support across multiple axes. Artillery units would need to be concentrated, leaving portions of the front without adequate indirect fire coverage. NASAM's ground-based air defense systems provide limited short to medium-range air defense capability. Canada has recently acquired a small number of National Advanced Surface-to-Air Missile Systems, designated NASAMS. The system uses AIM-120 AMRAAM missiles launched from ground-based launchers. Range is approximately 25 kilometers. The system can engage aircraft, helicopters, cruise missiles, and drones. NASAMS integrates a fire control radar, command and control unit, and mobile launchers. It is designed to defend high-value assets such as airfields, command posts, and logistical nodes. The system would be used to establish local air defense bubbles and to protect critical infrastructure from air attack. It provides a modern, mobile air defense capability that Canada has lacked for decades. Constraints are numerical and coverage. Canada's NASAMS procurement is limited in scope. The number of launchers and missiles acquired is insufficient to provide comprehensive air defense across Canadian territory. Coverage would be restricted to a small number of fixed sites or mobile units supporting deployed forces. The system's range is short compared to modern air defense systems operated by peer adversaries. Long-range strike aircraft, standoff munitions, and ballistic missiles would remain largely unengaged. NASAMS is effective against aircraft operating within its envelope, but cannot defend against saturation attacks or coordinated strikes employing electronic warfare and decoys. Canada lacks a layered integrated air defense system. Without long-range surface-to-air missiles and overlapping radar coverage, air defense remains a significant vulnerability. Reliance on fighter aircraft for air defense is unsustainable against a numerically superior or technologically advanced adversary. Kingston-class coastal defense vessels serve in mine countermeasures and patrol roles. Canada operates 12 Kingston-class maritime coastal defense vessels. These entered service in the mid-1990s. Each vessel displaces approximately 970 tons and has a length of 55 meters. They are lightly armed with a single 40mm gun and machine guns. Maximum speed is 15 knots. The ships are primarily used for coastal patrol, route survey, training, and support to other government departments. They can embark a remotely operated vehicle for mine countermeasures missions. The Kingston-class vessels would be used to secure harbors, conduct maritime surveillance in coastal waters, and support offshore operations. They provide presence in Canada's territorial waters and economic zones. They are not designed for high-intensity combat. The vessels lack anti-air and anti-submarine warfare capabilities. Their sensors and weapons are rudimentary compared to modern combatants. Speed and endurance are limited. They would be highly vulnerable to air attack, missile-equipped fast attack craft, and submarines. Their primary value lies in constabulary roles and in low-threat environments. In a conflict scenario, these vessels would likely be restricted to rear area security or withdrawn from forward positions to avoid loss. They do not contribute meaningfully to sea control or power projection. The class is aging and replacement planning is underway, but new vessels are not expected to enter service until the late 2020s at the earliest. Arctic and offshore patrol ships of the Harry de Wolf class extend Canada's presence into northern and offshore waters. 6 ships are planned, with the first entering service in 2020 and subsequent deliveries ongoing. Each vessel displaces approximately 6,615 tons and has a length of 103 meters. The ships are ice-strengthened to operate in first-year ice up to 1 meter thick. Armament includes a 25mm cannon and machine guns. The ships can embark a CH-148 Cyclone helicopter. Maximum speed is 17 knots. These vessels are designed for sovereignty patrols, surveillance, search and rescue, and support to other government operations in the Arctic and Atlantic and Pacific offshore regions. They are not combatants in the traditional sense. The Harry DeWolf class would be used to maintain a visible presence in remote waters, monitor maritime activity, assert territorial claims, and respond to emergencies. They provide Canada with enhanced capability to operate in harsh environments where previous vessels could not venture year-round. Constraints are substantial. The ships are lightly armed and lack advanced sensors or anti-submarine warfare systems. They cannot engage modern surface combatants or submarines. Their primary defense is avoidance. Speed is insufficient to evade threats or to reposition rapidly. In a contested environment, these vessels would require escort by more capable combatants or would need to withdraw. The ice-strengthened hull and diesel-electric propulsion prioritize endurance and environmental suitability over combat capability. These ships fill a capability gap for sovereignty and constabulary missions, but do not enhance Canada's ability to conduct high-intensity naval warfare. Their value is in peacetime presence and in scenarios where adversaries respect international norms. Against a peer threat, they contribute little to sea denial or sea control.